So cute. You guys, we have some kids at home right now who are obsessed with this pig. You might be too.
Listen, there is a way that you can bring this pig home, but that's not our home. Okay. Just not our home. Don't get too excited now. But you don't want to miss a story about this pig. We're going to be sharing that a little bit later. But from amazing first responders to amazing children and also Flagler County sports, we have it all on Observer Now.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Listen, we are so happy to be here again on Observer Now, and spring is really in full effect now. I mean, the weather's amazing. People are taken to the beaches.
Yes.
People are taken to the streets, but not necessarily to get sun. Just recently, we had a protest. It's one of our most controversial stories
in a few locations.
Yeah, I would say this is our most controversial story this week. Rich Carroll with the news.
You are the problem. If you don't vote for him, he wouldn't be president.
Hundreds of protesters gathered across Flagler County today, Saturday, March 28th, as part of the nationwide No Kings demonstrations. The first event took place in Flagler Beach at Moody Boulevard and A1A, followed by two simultaneous gatherings in Palm Coast at Old Kings Road and Palm Coast Parkway near Island Walk, and at State Road 100 and Belterre Parkway near Target. Protesters held signs and voiced concerns on a range of national issues.
We're tired of this foolishness in the Trump administration, and we need a voice.
I just feel I'm thankful to be here to know that there's so many other people that feel the same way. Donald Trump has got to go.
Organizers say the events were led by local grassroots and political groups, including Indivisible Flagler, Flagler 5051, the Flagler County Democratic Executive Committee, and the Flagler Beach Democratic Club. Michelle is with Flagler 5051, and she helped organize the event at State Road 100 and Belterre Parkway.
So essentially in Flagler County, oftentimes folks feel that they're alone, that they are frustrated with what's happening in the world, and they're just alone because they see maybe coworkers that just listen to right-wing media and aren't really paying attention to what's happening outside of that echo chamber. And to come together, to be visible, to say, you know what, we're not... we want what you want. We want affordable health care. We want quality schools.
The No Kings demonstrations here in Flagler County were part of coordinated protests held across Florida and the country. For the Palm Coast Observer, I'm Rich Carroll.
Yeah, organizers reported that there were over 1,600 protesters in 3 different locations across Flagler County. But you know what? There's been almost 1,600 comments on Facebook alone.
The comments.
And the comments are generally, from what I saw, in opposition to the protest itself, which again is a protest to the protest.
Right.
But this is the great thing about it. And I think the real story here is that we live in a country where you can say what you want to say.
Yeah, we have a voice.
And you don't have to worry about retribution from the government, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what's great about America.
To be honest, I have not understood the No Kings. I mean, I know that there's a little bit of a history behind it, but I haven't understood the protests, but I believe that it's a great sign that we all have a voice and that we're open to have a voice. And I love that the people there know that they're not alone with their voice. And I think that's important, that they have an opportunity to say, oh, I'm not the only one that feels this way.
No doubt. So we went through, looked at some of the comments. Here are a few we want to share. Okay. One from Stephen Mateo, and it says, and still no king. It's working. So congrats. That's a good one. Ann Mong says, we passed by and took a video. So happy to see so many come out. We all need to go out and vote.
Absolutely. Have a voice.
That's a good point. We all do need to go out and vote. And then Ida Farrow says, they all can go protest in Iran. They love that. As we know, in Iran, these type of protests are not met with this kind of coverage. You know, we saw deaths come in Iran for people who were, and there are other countries that are the same way. So.
Absolutely. I mean, just recently, a world champion wrestler was killed because he was protesting. So that one especially struck me.
Yeah.
That comment especially struck me because we really are living in a wonderful place where we have a voice, whether you're in favor or against. I became a little obsessed reading the comments.
Right.
There's some pretty clever people in our county and the way they word things and all their memes. I was reading them. Some were funny, some were mean.
Yeah.
But we have a voice. And I genuinely enjoy discussing issues with people.
I do
Sometimes
too.
I'll sit by people and be like, hey, talk to me about your opinion. And I know that they have a different opinion than me.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to have different opinions,
Yes.
right?
One time I sat by one of the reporters and I said, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this? And we just talked. It was fun.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, wait a minute. I think that the majority of us are more connected than we are separate. I feel like we are more connected. I mean, there are certain issues that we are very polarized on, but
No
I
doubt.
feel like a lot of us are in the middle. So,
well, one thing I hope that we can all be connected on and be together on is the value of life. And recently, our first responders had an experience that shows exactly that, the value of life. Here's Rich Carroll.
Put the car in park. Put the car in park. Bravo 214, I got one plan for me.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office says crisis negotiators successfully de-escalated a dangerous situation involving an armed and suicidal man in Palm Coast. Deputies spent more than 2 hours negotiating before the suspect safely surrendered.
But I'm not going to put myself in your shoes. What I can tell you, though, is that this is a temporary issue that you have a whole life to figure out and make better and become a better Christian man, okay?
Authorities say the coordinated effort helped save a life and bring the situation to a peaceful end. For the Palm Coast Observer, I'm Rich Carroll.
You know, I've had multiple people in my life who I'm sorry to say we lost to suicide. And I think every one of us has had somebody that we've lost to suicide. And I'm just grateful that that young man is with us still.
oh, so grateful. One thing that the negotiator said that really touched my heart was he said, this is a temporary issue. And how many times do we feel so sad or angry and those emotions are so strong within us and we don't remember that there's still hope. It's temporary. Just write it out, right? And that we're not alone. I had an experience, I guess a couple of years ago, and I was just having a rough night, just feeling sad, and I wanted to go on a drive. So I drove to the beach and I just sat in my car at the beach and just looked at the ocean, was feeling, just trying to feel peace. And I was feeling sad about some things. And a police officer drove up and he parked next to me and he was like, hey, are you okay? And I was so touched by that because I wasn't suicidal and I was okay. But to know that there are people there who care, I want you to know and your family members to know that you are not alone and that there are people to reach out to, that, you know, you're not, there's hope. There's hope. The problem is temporary, right?
Yeah.
Push through it. Go to the next day. Live another day, please.
Even in this story, the fact that that officer spent 2 hours.
2 hours.
When they said 2 hours, I was like, wow, that's a long time to spend. But he obviously was beyond his job. It wasn't about doing his job. He really cared for that person.
And this was after he took off from the police, right?
Right.
So he's technically a criminal, you know, breaking the law at this point, but they still cared about him as an individual.
Yep. They cared about him as an individual, and you could see it. If you watch the story, you can see it. For one man in Flagler County, his addiction to cigarettes has gotten a little out of hand. We have a cigarette bandit that has popped up in Flagler. Rich Carroll with the news.
County Sheriff's Office is searching for a suspect connected to multiple cigarette thefts across Palm Coast. Investigators say the same individual struck again Tuesday night at the racetrack on State Road 100 and Seminole Woods Boulevard. Authorities believe the suspect is responsible for at least 3 incidents, including earlier thefts at a Wawa in January and a Circle K on March 22nd. Detectives say the suspect typically backs into a parking space, enters the store, and takes a carton of cigarettes and quickly leaves. The suspect vehicle has been identified as a Nissan Pathfinder. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Flagler County Sheriff's Office at 386-313-4911 or Crime Stoppers at 1-888-277-TIPS. For the Palm Coast Observer, I'm Rich Carroll.
Listen, our Flagler County officers will catch you. They will get you.
Yep, they will find you, right? They will catch you. And they will create a nickname for you. And in this case, it was the notorious CIG, otherwise known as, So, but, you know, he has been arrested, so hopefully he'll get the help that he needs.
Thank goodness.
Right.
Thank you, Flagler County officers.
But yeah, if you're in a bind and you need help, just go right to the police. And then that way, maybe they can help you before we get into that kind of issue, right? All right. So we had a public speaking contest.
Oh, you're going to love this.
Yeah. was it Old Kings High School?
Elementary school.
We got No Kings and we got Old Kings. So
Elementary school.
Old
They're
Kings.
the cutest little kids.
Old Kings, young people. Old Kings Elementary School. Let's
There
take
we
a
go.
look.
This is Leon, and today I'm running for presidency. Why? Because I believe this country needs more fun, more snacks, and a lot less homework.
Old Kings Elementary students are making their voices heard in a big way. Leon Kravchik and Lucy David took top honors in the District 4-H Public Speaking Contest, showcasing confidence, strong communication skills, and well-prepared speeches. Lucy David wants to be a wildlife veterinarian when she grows up.
Being a wildlife vet can be tricky because animals can't tell you what the problem is or what's hurting them. Wild animals can get hurt by cars, pollution, fires, or by people destroying their homes. Wildlife vets help them so that they can go back to the wild and continue doing important animal business.
Leon Kravchik wants to be president.
Let's not forget about education. As your president, I will make a new law. For every book that you will read, you will get a free donut. Yum, donuts. As president, I will also fix important problems. For example, why do socks disappear in the washing machine? I will find them. I will bring them home, and I'll make sure each sock has a best friend again.
Their performances stood out among competitors, earning them top recognition and highlighting the school's commitment to student achievement. For the Palm Coast Observer, I'm Rich Carroll.
Listen, I love some of the comments here. Heather de Ashberg said, Leon for president. And honestly, I have to agree.
Leon for president, I'll say it.
Who doesn't want less homework? And to be honest, I'm still looking for a few of those socks, Leon. So please help me out with that. And then Lucy, just who thinks about like what the animal might be thinking when the person's trying to find out what's wrong with them. I just think it's amazing.
And the way she articulated it, so good.
It was great.
She did such a great job.
They picked some good winners on that.
You know, our kids did 4-H club. You remember that?
Definitely.
Oh, it was so great. One of our kids was doing dog training, and he was dog walking, training a Chihuahua, which that was pretty tricky.
The Chihuahua had a mind of its own.
Yappy, yappy, yappy.
Yes.
But they also did chickens, and they would like display their chickens, and they cared for them. I mean, I love the 4-H club and what they're teaching him, and
4-H
kids
club
also
awesome.
had
we've tried to give our kids, like we've gone on trips and we created a family band and just got them performing in front of people, even when they didn't feel comfortable with it, but to try to just get them more confidence and just being able to speak and say things. And so I think that this is great. I mean, I love the 4-H club and I love what they're doing.
I do too. I also love public speaking. Like our kids, we would, in our family band, we would sing a song, and then before each song, we would have our kids say something about the song and say it's personal experience. And sometimes their commentary wasn't like on point.
But that's just it.
What is he saying? We had a kid that would just say the craziest things, but it was okay.
Wait, did you tell them which one it was? All right, we're not going to go into that.
You don't know all of our kids, but it's Tyson. If any of you know our kids, it's Tyson.
But now he's extremely confident in talking in front of people, which is great.
And he knew he had a voice. And so that's, let your kids speak. Let them know they have a voice. I think
big shout out to the parents there too.
Yeah, for
that
encouraging
helped.
that.
Yeah, which is great.
And he uses arms. He's like, we have a voice and a body and everything. I love it.
Yeah. Well, in a press release recently, Vice Chair for the County Commission, Kim Carney, she had a difficult experience with her mother that prompted a county-wide initiative to be rolled out.
Hi, I'm Kim Carney, Flagler County Board of County Commissioners, District 3. I'm here today with county paramedics.
I'm Rob Barrett, Flagler County Fire Rescue Community Paramedic.
Hi, I'm Tracy Farmer, Flagler County Fire Rescue Community Paramedic.
We're here today to talk about a very important initiative. This initiative is called the File of Life.
The information in a File of Life packet is crucial to paramedics at the time of an emergency. It has a health profile, and it also contains a DNR if that is your directives.
Believe it or not, this information is super important for us as paramedics arriving on scene. If we encounter somebody or a patient that is unconscious or does not have somebody at the residence that knows their pertinent medical information, if they have this information filled out, put in their File of Life, which is magnetic, and it goes on their refrigerator, we can automatically go to this information and we can see their past medical history. With this packet, there is also a sticker that you'll receive. It's just a little clear sticker that will go either on your front door or on a front window next to the door. And as we get on scene, we recognize that sticker and we know that this packet with all your information is in there.
We recommend that all residents get involved in this program, and here's how you can do that.
You can reach out to us, the community paramedic team here at Flagler County Fire Rescue. You can give us a call at our office. Its phone number is area code 386-313-4260. You can also go to our website at flaglercounty.gov/FCFR and click on the link that says important medical documentation, and it has all of the information there. When you do request it, we will actually deliver this to you, and you can have all of the information that we have, and we'll provide further instruction for it.
So the message is clear. The more information that first responders have when they're trying to help you, the better. And so don't keep it a secret. Your medical history is important. And so get one of these forms, fill them out, have that thing sitting on your fridge. And now when they go in the house, they'll know exactly where to go. If there's an issue,
front door as well.
Right? By the front door.
Yeah.
And I will say, we look at this and we say, yeah, we do have a population here where their ages would make this, very important. But I would say it's important for all ages, right? It's important for all ages.
Absolutely. The more information they have, the better. We have our oldest son had major open heart surgery, and they've suggested that he wear even a bracelet. That's not the same initiative that they're doing here, but
his heart's on the other side, so people would
his
freak
heart's
out.
on
They
the
go
right
in there
side
like
of his body.
his heart is gone. Like, what do we do?
Doctors have said they'll
Right?
look and they'll look at us.
Yeah,
What's happening?
they're like, I can't.
So the more information, the better that they can help. The first time I ever heard of the concept of DNR, do not resuscitate, I could not wrap my mind around that concept of don't resuscitate them. Everybody wants to be saved, but not everybody wants to be saved in that way. And it becomes quite traumatizing for the family and for those involved. And Kim Carney's mother had a terrible experience with this and quite heartbreaking, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, it's good that through that experience that she said, here's my platform. Here's the difference I want to make. So we appreciate that she's out there making a difference in the best way that she can.
Absolutely.
And there's a new Palm Coast Observer that hits the stands today. And here's Rich Carroll with some of the headlines.
Thank you, Abe and Rachel. Let's take a look at the front page of the latest edition of the Palm Coast Observer. Did Flagler County waste $59 million? Florida CFO calls out Flagler for overspending. Chair Pennington agrees, and we get Clee's rebuttal. That's available on page 4A. 1,600 people rally for No Kings. 3 protests held in Flagler County. That's on page 11A. Candy hunters, over 4,000 attend Palm Coast annual egg extravaganza. That's on page 1B. And title game next. Flagler Palm Coast Bulldogs ground Hawks in 5-star conference flag football tournament. That's on page 9B. The all-new Palm Coast Observer, available for free on your local newsstands today.
FPC and Matanzas are competing again. It's a rivalry that doesn't end. I love this rivalry. And this time, Matanzas comes out on top. Let's take a look at what Rich Carroll has.
Senior night where we played FPC and we beat them for the second time this season.
Matanzas girls lacrosse is celebrating a milestone season. The Pirates defeated FPC 10-5 on senior night, locking in their first winning season in a decade. It was a special night for the program's seniors who helped lead a turnaround under coach Brandy Allred. Peyton Lawrence is a senior and a team captain. She said the night was bittersweet.
It was a very sad night, but also a very fun night because I'm leaving my team and moving to college, but we also won. And FPC was a hard team for us to beat for the past 10 years, but we were able to beat them twice this year, and we caged the dog both times. So.
Mia Appelbach, also a team captain and senior, says this is a night she will remember for the rest of her life.
Tonight was such a memorable night, and I loved every moment of it. I loved playing with my middies, Addison Allred, and Trinity Johnston, my favorite middies ever. We had such a fun game tonight, and I really loved it.
For the Palm Coast Observer, I'm Rich Carroll.
Is it me? Are seniors just looking younger and younger these days? I must just be getting older and older.
But huge congrats. I loved her confidence. I loved the way she was all for the second time this year.
Nice.
Huge congrats. Our son watched this reel and he said, it's about time. Ooh.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
We love the rivalry of FPC and Matanzas. We love it, love it. We have kids who have been on both sides, graduated high school on both sides of it.
Yeah.
FPC and Matanzas, and
No
some
doubt.
who have even been on both sides through their high school years.
Yeah, this rivalry to me is one of the things that makes this county great.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
love it. Even though Matanzas usually comes out on the short end of the stick, this time they got it. And well, I don't say in
It's
football,
it's been a
for
smaller
sure,
school.
right?
Yeah.
Wrestling, basketball. Well, I don't say everything, but it's amazing because it's a rivalry, right?
Right.
And I look at it and I say, man, we have FPC students, we've had Matanzas,
right?
Athletes,
So,
and they fight each other.
So
They're like, let's
listen.
fight, man. We're all about this.
Oh my gosh. So listen, I remember a wrestling tournament and we were at FPC, and at that time our son was wrestling for Matanzas. Both of our sons were in, and we went over there and he was wrestling, and all of a sudden the entire gym was FPC. And I remember looking around going, what is happening here? It was so intimidating. So the attention gets high. But I remember another wrestling tournament where it was at Matanzas, and our daughter wrestled for the boys team, and she was wrestling for Matanzas at the time, and she beat a boy.
Oh, it went.
Which
Everybody went
clinched
crazy. It clinched the.
Matanzas, and Matanzas won. It was so crazy. Everybody went nuts then at Matanzas.
And then 2 years later,
she was
helping FPC win a state championship. So
we love both of you.
We
We
love
love
both.
FPC and Matanzas.
we love athletes from both. You guys are amazing. Keep giving all your effort and giving that rivalry something.
And
We
congrats
appreciate
to that
it.
lacrosse team after a decade.
Mhm.
That's huge.
That means
say
never, ever, ever give up.
Never give up.
Never say die. Right? All
That's
right.
it.
And now to our cutest
Oh my
story of the week.
gosh. Here we go.
My name's Colleen. I'm the front end manager at Flagler Humane Society, and with me is my staff pick. This is OP. We call him OP for short. His full name is Office Pig. He came to us as a stray through the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. He is a potbelly. We figure maybe about 9 months old. He's very friendly. He's very domesticated. You can tell that he was probably an inside pet, because as you can see, he loves rubs. He'll roll over for a belly rub, and as you can see, he loves watermelon too. We have him here in one of our offices. He has been house trained. He hasn't had any accidents. We make sure that we give him ample time to go outside, but he also spends his nights inside, and we haven't had any issues. He's litter trained. So if you're looking for a potbelly, come on down and see OP.
How is it that the pig gets so cute like that? How's little
Right.
pig? Why are they so cute?
Cute, so precious. And when she said, and he rolls over for his belly rub, are you kidding me? So cute. Okay.
Crazy.
But as cute as they are,
Mhm.
you must know that they can grow to about, I think, 120 pounds. And they're like having a toddler, a permanent toddler for 10 to 15 years, because they're super smart. Toddlers are smart, right? But then they're also kind of rambunctious, and they get into things, and
Sure.
they need space for foraging and snorting, and they get kind of loud. But I mean, if you're up for all that, go get it.
And I suppose it's somewhat like having a dog, right? I mean, or maybe a cat, whatever. The cats don't do what you
know.
want it to do, but they're still around doing whatever. So
Yeah. But they,
Well, how-
they have a very specialized diet.
They do.
Can't eat what the dog and cat eat.
or what you eat. So you gotta give them special stuff. But I'm just trying to figure out how you have stray pigs. We live in a world with stray pigs.
Stray pigs that are used for pets that are house trained.
Yeah, it's house trained.
Yeah.
Stray pigs, though, by the way, sounds like a bad 80s like band or something. And I'm not saying not rock, but like
So-
alternative, like new
Wait,
wave.
you said a bad 80s band. Is that a no that we can't get the stray pig?
We can't get the stray pig, and we can't listen to the stray pigs. It's just, but it does
Right.
it does take me back to Mayberry, because the pig's name is Opie. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Whistle it. Do the whistle. Leave in the comments if you know the song. Did you watch that show? Okay. All right. Why is he still snuggling? We're done. Cut.
I love it. So what are your takeaways from today?
Oh, my big, huge takeaway is your voice. Let your voice be heard.
Oh, I
it
thought you were
can be
saying my
re-
voice.
Okay, you know what?
My whistle.
One of these times, Definitely not the whistle, but he is a great singer. One of these times we do need to hear his voice, but your voice, speak up. We've had kids speaking up. We've had adults speaking up. We've heard you in the comments. Your comments are great. You protesting is great. I mean, just be heard. It's important. And it's important to talk to each other. It's important to talk to people who believe differently than you. That's my takeaway. Be heard.
For
And
sure.
Listen. Take time to listen to others.
I would say there's two things. One is never underestimate the value of life. Never
Oh, yes.
undervalue the value of a life. And then the other thing is when you don't agree with someone, listen to them, respect them.
Yeah.
Not all of us have the same thoughts on the protest. However, we live in a country for that very reason that we can protest. We can
And then we can
not
protest
agree.
the protest.
We can protest and leave a comment and not be worried about being killed by our government or
What a blessing.
I think it's a blessing. So I think that's the last thing. And my takeaway is we live in a great country, an amazing
and a great
country,
state, and a great county.
250 years this July 4th, this country. And we do live in a great county, great city. You guys get out, go to the beach, get out, go for a walk, enjoy this springtime. And yeah.
And if you're feeling hopeless, remember, push through it. It's temporary.
We thank you for joining us on Observer Now. We'll see you next week.